Hello again, it's Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit here on MAV TV, talking sprint car racing, our favorite time of the week, and we are so glad that you joined us. Erin, Evernham, and Steve Post. Erin is sitting in for Mrs. Cosmo World, or what? How does Mrs. Cosmo whatever, but Ashley Strumming?
Yeah, I don't know, but congratulations to her. I mean, I'm the last person to ask about a pageant, but man, she kills them, huh?
I know she does. She laid on us Miss Cosmo. She described it as like it's like the All-Stars. It's like a different series, okay? So
now
we understand now. Okay, so then she gets Mrs. Cosmos, North Carolina. Then she gets Mrs. Cosmos, United States.
Yep.
And then last weekend she's in Jamaica and she's Mrs. Cosmos of
Universe,
the Cosmos.
I think.
Cosmos, Universe.
Oh, I don't know.
Intergalactic.
Yeah. Whatever, she won.
Galaxy,
she got the
Milky
big trophy.
Way. She got the big crown.
Yes, yes.
Oh, she got the big crown. So Ashley will be back next week, but Erin is filling in. Oh my gosh. So it's great stuff.
Absolutely.
Really
Talk
is.
more sprint cars.
Yes, exactly. So Ashley representing all of us well in all of Juniata County up in Pennsylvania.
She's representing the beauty amongst us.
The beauty amongst us. Well, you're fine in that category. I'm not so much. Okay. Hey, you know what? Historic moments in the sport of sprint car racing. I think we have one last Friday night, Lakeside Speedway.
Yeah.
When the Tony Stewart racing car, Donnie Schatz, put Ford in victory lane. First time since August 26, 1998, when Jeff Swindell won at Southern Oregon Speedway. There's been a lot of talk about Ford getting involved. There's been a lot of energy about Ford getting involved. Ford finally has got involved with the engines. And to win a race, not too far into this thing with the World of Outlaws is pretty stout.
Not far at all. I mean, that was really impressive.
Yeah, Tony's had the Ford engine in the car since August.
Yeah.
But Donnie didn't drop the Ford in until Williams Grove a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
So.
But we knew TSR and Ron Shaver and all of them were going to do their homework.
You can bet. You can bet that thing's going in there in pretty good shape. So, so fun. Really enjoyed it. Just neat stuff. A lot of work went into that engine, and there's a lot of work still come.
Yeah.
I mean, you get one win, it's not over. It's just beginning.
Yeah.
So, but fun to have historic moments like that, like last Friday night at Lakeside Speedway, when a Ford was back in victory lane at a World of Outlaw race, first time in 21 years. We need to step away, but let's take another look at that. It is Donnie Schatz racing with Brian Brown. This is last Friday night at Lakeside Speedway, World of Outlaw and NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars. Johnny Gibson with the call. If you weren't there at the racetrack, you caught it on Dirt Vision, and you're catching it right here. It's our Dryden Diesel All Death-Defying Move of the Week.
And now for the Dryden Death-Defying Move of the Week, where one driver simply amazes us with their on-track moves.
Into turn one, Schatz on the bottom of the racetrack, looking for the lead. He's got it at the midpoint of the backstretch. Can he hold it through 3 and 4? Donnie Schatz low, Brian Brown up high. They race for the lead out of turn 4. Donnie Schatz leading lap 13.
That death-defying move was brought to you by Dryden Diesel All Death, the official DEF of the World of Outlaws and wheelmen everywhere. Visit Dryden.com for more information.
Wing Nation presented by Sage Fruit here on MAV TV. Let's go to the Hercules Tire hotline. Joining us, he drives one of those Dryden cars on the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Car Tour. Jacob Allen's on the line. Hello, Jacob. Welcome back to Wing Nation.
Hello. Thanks for having me, guys.
Great to catch up with you. How are things going as you kind of wind down the season here just a little bit?
Things are going good. Just kind of, preparing for these last couple races, but also kind of preparing for the off season. And right now we're gonna get at least a couple weeks at home before Charlotte, so we can get some things done here, and that's nice.
Jacob, you've been on the Outlaw Tour for quite a few years now. Assess your season. How do you feel personally about your season?
Well, I feel like every year doesn't get any easier, that's for sure. But it's all right. I mean, I definitely had little more expectations for myself than it played out, but you know, that's how it goes. And I've had some good runs, had a couple chances to win this year, and you know, I think it could be better, but I don't kind of like hang my head about it either. I kind of look it all over and think about it and think the best of it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that I respect so much about you, Jacob. In chatting with you, you can take a tough situation, which was the early years of your race team, and put a smile on it and make it sound good. You have had a few that got away, including one real late in the game that got away from you. How tough is it, though, to put that positive spin on things in your mind when you have one get away like you did earlier this year? I think I was at Stockton.
Well, it's not really that easy. I mean, I definitely think it takes some time to think things over when you get knocked down a lot, and you know, and you get frustrated and upset. So it takes a lot of thinking about things and how you're gonna, you know, give yourself some confidence when you're down. But I think that doesn't come always like within yourself. I think it comes from the people that you're surrounded by. Because like when you're down, you know, the people on your team or your family or your fans, they kind of pick you back up. So I just kind of look at it that way, and I don't think it hurts to, you know, give, you know, always your best effort. And if you do that and, you know, you still get knocked down, at least you're, you know, trying.
Well said. Jacob, when you look at the big picture, your team has come a long way in a few years. Dryden came along as a sponsor, so you have to be happy with the growth overall.
Oh, yeah. I'm super proud of our race team. I mean, you know, just me, Logan, and Dad, just to start with, us guys, my dad taking two kids who really didn't know what we were really getting into, and then grow into this, and just, you know, you just pay attention and you learn it, and you just start to live the lifestyle. So to see where it's grown and have Dryden be a part of our team now, and just to look at it all, you know, over the years, it's pretty amazing. It's something that probably the most proud thing I'm of my life. And then to have sponsors like Dryden's good. They're really good people. They don't put pressure, you know, on me or anything like that. So I'm really appreciative for it.
When you look back, though, I mean, you guys, you got sponsors, you got shiny race cars, you even have crew members. When you look back at the early years, and I remember there was a transporter stuck in North Carolina at the McLean shop and everything, was there ever a time when you thought this might not turn out all right?
I don't know. I don't know. Just because my dad, like his attitude, he's never one to be like, this is it, and I guess he just always makes it seem like we're gonna get out of whatever kind of situation we are. But living with my dad my whole life and being around the shop, it always seems like, you know, something might not get done. Like when we built the trailer, it was like, oh, are we going to get it done? And it just seemed like somehow there was always a way to get through it. So I kind of feel like my life's been that kind of story of, you know, just things like that breaking down on the side of the road or that sort of thing. So I don't know. I just never doubt it. And that's probably mostly because of my dad.
Yeah. When you speak of your dad, the legend Bobby Allen, what has it been like to watch him go through? He was a legendary driver, but now he has this team with his grandson and his son, and he's doing so well. How neat has it been for you to watch him go through this process?
Yeah, it's been pretty neat. I don't know if I realized how much my dad really does until almost, well, I mean, I have in an obvious way, but this year I had a motorhome out there, and I drove this year's Outlaw circuit, you know, every drive all year long. And this past week where we went out to Indiana and Kansas, I left the motorhome behind, rode in the toter, and I got to thinking, you know, wow, like he's drove this toter by himself for the last 6 years, and he's 75 years old, and he's doing this. It's like, how in the hell you do it, dude? Like, like I can't believe it. But I told him, you know, like, if I can make it to 75 and be as happy and healthy and strong like he is, that's a pretty big accomplishment. So I'm super impressed with him.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing. It just is absolutely amazing. Really? It really, truly is. When you travel the country, Jacob, There's got to be people, you have probably heard more stories about your father as well from people because he's been such a great personality in the sport for so long.
Oh yeah, it's amazing how many people look up to my dad or call him his hero or this and that. I mean, yeah, you just see it all the time, and it's something that is pretty special. And I just think it's special when you see that from an outside view. And then the amount of time that we do get to spend with my dad and talk to him, it's really cool because he just taught us like how to become men and do this. And the older I get, I feel like I mature, and the things I talk to with my dad about, I think they're things that I'm going to really cherish for the rest of my life. So just see people, idolize my dad, and there's some of these people are people I look up to. It's pretty humbling, I would say.
I would say so as well. Jacob, hang in there with us. Everyone else, stick around. More with Jacob Allen coming up in just a moment. Make sure you're registered. It's the month of October, and we are getting close to the end of the month. Hercules Tires giving away a set of tires. Go to www.herculestire.com/MRN. More with Jacob Allen in just a moment.
Do a little shopping? Well, I heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and 10 keeps the competition away. I got you a Granny Smith, seeing you're a little sour.
From sweet to tart and everything in between, Sage Fruit supplies every variety of apple that shoppers may be looking for. For over 3 generations, they've been providing customers with only the best apples, pears, and cherries that Washington has to offer.
You're finally taking my advice.
Well, something like that. I figured out how to get my 10 apples in a day. Sage Fruit, it's the choice of champions.
Wing Nation by Sage Fruit here on MAV TV. Rolling along, Jacob Allen, driver of that number 1A Dryden car on the World of Outlaw NOS Energy Sprint Car Tour, joins us on the Hercules Tire Hotline. And prior to the race, prior to the break, we talked a lot of sprint car racing. Okay, let's talk a little off-track racing. You mentioned getting ready for the off-season. Jacob, what does the off-season look like for you guys? I mean, do you get away? Do you stay home? What does the off-season look like?
We really just stay around home. I mean, we just, the shop's just kind of a cool place to be. We're always kind of working on, the racing side of it, pretty much every day. And then, we work on the shop and cleaning that up and just improving on, every little corner, we can around the racing shop.
And you mentioned earlier that this year you got a motorhome to take on the Outlaw Tour. What is motorhome life like, and what is it like to drive all those stints? I know you said you commend your dad for doing it, but some of those are some long hauls.
Oh yeah, I never done anything like that in my life, so it was quite the experience. I must say, it's really cool. I'm very glad that I got to do it. I was nervous. A lot of times I really felt like that I felt real stressed for the first time in my life, going up on some of those big hills and, the motorhome overheating sometimes and things like that. But it was really cool. It's been a really cool experience. I'm thankful that I got to do that, and I got to do that with my girlfriend as well. That was something that I'm never going to forget.
Quite the journey, that is for sure. Now, during our chat before we went on the air, you had shared with us that you have 2 dogs, okay? What are the dogs? What are their names? What kind of dogs do you have?
Well, I just got one when we were out in Chico, and I only had her for a month so far, and her name's Maggie, and she's a German Shepherd Border Collie mix. And then when me and my girlfriend were originally talking about getting dogs, we talked about a French Bulldog. So I got talking to my mom out in Indiana, and she knew a lady that has French Bulldogs. So this past weekend when we were coming back towards home, I picked up a French Bulldog, and Maggie's only 5 months, and Otis is the French Bulldog's name. He's only 3 months. So I got 2 little puppies right now.
Oh, man. So you've got your hands full. Now, which one was the one that was misbehaving? I saw a picture on social media of maybe a bed torn apart.
Oh, yeah, that's Maggie. Maggie's pretty wide open, but she's pretty cool and a pretty smart dog. It's been fun getting to know her and hang out with her. She's fun.
You know, I think that's the thing. It doesn't matter how the racing went. It didn't matter if you're standing in victory lane, if the engine falls out of the race car, if you had a bad night. You get back to that motor coach. I bet you Maggie's always happy to see you, right?
Oh yeah, she's pumped. Yeah, I went a week without seeing her when we were on the road this past time. So when I came back, she was pretty excited, and that was pretty cool. Yeah, the dog thing's pretty new. I didn't really grow up with having dogs my whole life, so this was something that me and my girlfriend wanted to do, and it's exciting, and it's fun to learn that responsibility and that kind of thing. It's going to be fun to have them be a part of our little family.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a lot of you in the motorhome there. And now during the off season, I think you mentioned earlier that you're working on an apartment, but you're living in the motorhome for the off season?
No, not for the whole off season. I'm just that's what I was doing before you guys called. Was working on the apartment upstairs. I'm gonna work on that as much as I can, whether it be late at night or that kind of thing. So I'm trying to get that done pretty quick and then get out of the motorhome and that kind of thing.
Okay, so Jacob, we've talked to you a lot about driving and how you've come along as a driver. We've talked about motor coach and stress and everything, and a little bit on the program. And you recorded these, I believe, last year at the World Finals. We have the Drydene Insider, okay? So now how stressful is it when we point a microphone at you and you have to be an actor and tell us all about your sprint car stuff?
It's not too hard. I don't know. It's all right. I think it's a learning thing for sure. I've seen myself grown, like how to, talk and that kind of thing in front of a microphone. So it's definitely a learning curve, and I feel pretty good about it. I think I could be better on the whole microphone thing, but I think it's a part of what we do, and it's a cool part of what we do.
It is a cool part, and the Drydene Insider will be coming up a little bit later on here on our Wing Nation program as Jacob talks about the race car. So you'll look forward to that. Jacob, I'll tell you, it's always a pleasure to chat with you. We appreciate the conversation. Best of luck this weekend at Port Royal, and then we'll look forward to catching up with you down here at the World Finals. But as always, a pleasure, and thanks for the time.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys, for having me and talking with me.
There we go. Jacob Allen, driver of that number 1A Drydene car. How about that? What a great story. What a great...
It is.
When they decided to do that, Fred Raymer told me, I said, they've lost their minds. Bobby Allen's lost his mind. He said, there's one man on the planet that can make this work, and that's Bobby Allen.
He did it.
And he did it, for sure. So that is it. Hey, remember again, Hercules Tires, a free set of tires, www.herculestires.com/MRN. Our Tweet Your Seat, Tweets of the Week, coming up next.
Citywide to countryside. Whatever you drive, wherever you go. Hercules Tires has the value, selection, and industry-leading protection to get you there, no matter where the road takes you. Hercules Tires. Ride on our strength.
Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit. It is your turn. Tweet your seat. And we need to keep that going here during the off season. I know. We'll just keep sharing them, whatever you're seeing. Whether you're at the racetrack or anything sprint car related, tweet your seat. We're going to start off at Devil's Bowl Speedway. It was the 46th Annual Winter Nationals. The tweets from Kelly, from Len, from Vince, and from Evan. It was Sam Hafertepe picking up his 10th win of the season on Friday night. And our boy from last week, Roger Crockett, his second win of the year. Roger Crockett, Sam Hafertepe, and Jack Dover. And Sam Hafertepe, we've talked about this Lucas Oil ASCS National Tour point battle. Sam, well, he is starting to stretch it out just a little bit on Blake Hahn with only 2 races remaining.
He sure is. Then we go to Tulare Speedway for the Trophy Cup. We have tweets from Sherry and Brandon. Thursday, Rico Abreu won with a last turn pass on Jack Hodenshield, his teammate for the weekend, to get the win. Friday, Rico again, but this time he took the lead on the backstretch on the last lap.
He gave himself all kinds of room there, didn't he?
And then Saturday night, he actually gave himself 7 laps leading before he won. $26,000 total.
Wow, absolutely amazing. Lakeside Speedway, tweets from Erin and Adam. Had a ball there at Lakeside Speedway, catching up with the folks. World of Outlaw NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars, we talked about it earlier on. Donnie Schatz picked up the win, that first Ford win. Logan Schuhart, the Dryden driver, teammate to Jacob Allen, and Brad Sweet. What a recovery Sweet had to come up to third at the end of that thing. Man, he was not good in the middle of that race, but he found something and made good progress at the end of that
holding
race.
on to that points lead. Then we go to Lake Ozark Speedway for the Jason Johnson Classic. We have tweets from Alan, Rob, and Dwayne. Saturday, again, Jason Johnson Classic, the World of Outlaws. David Gravel with his 10th win of the season, winning in the Jason Johnson racing car. On the podium, rounded out with Sheldon Haudenschild and Logan Schuhart.
And I want to direct you to wingnation.com. We have Bobby Johnson on our podcast on there right now, and that's a must-listen-to podcast on wingnation.com. Up to the Speed Palace. Tweets from Kenny, from Rich, from KSL, and Jaden. Open Wheel Madness. And TJ Stutz, another one of the interviews on Wing Nation that we have there at wingnation.com, picked up his first career Port Royal win. TJ, Logan Wagner, Lance Deweese. URC, the winner was Brock Zierfoss.
And then we have a tweet from Tanya. She was in the Fort Lauderdale airport watching Wing Nation.
Yes, how about that? That looks good in the airport. Exactly.
It looks good anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. And here she is, Mrs. Cosmos, Ashley, with pictures from Jamaica Man. That's where she was hanging out. And so Ashley, our very own co-host, and Mrs. Cosmos. We need to step away, but before we do that, we told you about this when we talked to Jacob Allen. Here is Jacob in our Dryden Insider.
I'm Jacob Allen. I'm the driver of the Shark Racing 1A, and today I'm going to talk about my car and tires. The rear tires, there's two different sizes. And the front tires are different sizes as well. You have a right rear that's bigger than your left rear, and that's a stagger. And stagger is going to kind of determine a little bit how your car is going to feel, either it be tight or loose. Loose is more of like a feeling where you go sideways, and tight's more of a feeling where you're pushing. Depending on your racetrack, you want to kind of just think about what you want for stagger based on how you feel and how the track looks. It's a pretty important part of your night.
Do a little shopping? Well, I heard an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and 10 keeps the competition away. I got you a Granny Smith, seeing you're a little sour.
From sweet to tart and everything in between, Sage Fruit supplies every variety of apple that shoppers may be looking for. For over 3 generations, they've been providing customers with only the best apples, pears, and cherries that Washington has to offer.
You're finally taking my advice.
Well, something like that. I figured out how to get my 10 apples in a day. Sage Fruit, it's the choice of champions.
Wing Nation by Sage Fruit continuing on here. We're so glad you're spending your time with us here on MAV TV. Of course, MAV TV, all kinds of great sprint car racing, so make sure you keep it locked right in right here on MAV TV. And make sure if you're coming to the World Finals, you lock in with us.
Oh,
because we are hooking you up. Now, we have Dryden Wing Nation Race Day. That's at 3 o'clock every after Friday and Saturday afternoon from right on the fan zone. Gates open at 4. We're going to take you right up to there. Singing, dancing,
you
karaoke,
don't want to miss Postman
prizes, giveaways, great drivers, great fun. Oh, it's going to be great. But listen to this one. Saturday morning, 2 weeks from today, 11 a.m., NASCAR Hall of Fame, racing legends, dirt track legends. But the show is not going to be hosted by Erin, Ashley, or myself, because we're not qualified.
Yeah.
Okay? The show, listen to this, will be hosted by NASCAR Hall of Famers. Ray Evernham, NASCAR Hall of Fame class of 2018, and Tony Stewart, who will be inducted into the 2020 class. Tony Stewart and Ray are going to talk to dirt track legends 11 o'clock at the NASCAR Hall of Fame on Saturday morning. How's that?
It's going to be fun, for sure.
Yeah, story hour for sure.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully they keep it
in the rails.
Yeah. Those two, you never know.
Well, exactly. Tony and Ray, they love sprint car racing. Of course, Tony's had a lot of success with it. Ray also multiple-time 305 winner, so he's a big-time sprint car guy also. But it's going to be fun. It is going to be great. I tell you what, it's always great when we chat with Jacob Allen.
Yeah.
Oh, love that kid and love what that team is doing, so appreciate him. But more important than all of that, thank you for joining us here on Wing Nation, presented by Sage Fruit.